Hi, I'm Dea.
Hi, I'm Reece, and
And
we are
Literally dead. Welcome to another Fright Bite, where we talk about a horror movie that is recently out of cinemas, I think.
Yes, current and popping. We do a short form because we want it to be spoiler free.
And also, you can't take notes in the cinema.
Yeah. But yes, these are the videos where we encourage you to go out and watch and support these films.
Yes.
Well, unless we hate them. Well, actually, you know what? Even support the bad stuff.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I believe that this is released on home media in, October. So, you should be able to go and see Weapons either on streaming or on physical media very soon. And it might still be showing in your local cinema. We don't know. We're not there.
I am. Sorry, I'm not.
Well, if you've not seen the trailer, which essentially just tells you the plot, it's about a group of children who go missing in the middle of the night one night, and everyone suspects everybody.
Yes. Did you want to give a synopsis?
That was it.
I hope you liked the synopsis. I wasn't there for it.
Where were you?
I don't know. I was on another planet. It's a very good film. Okay, let's be careful. We don't want to spoil too much, but we're going to give our thoughts. Should we start with how we felt about the general story?
I liked the general story.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that you had a lot of different characters with varying perspectives, and I enjoyed how those perspectives were shown. There's a character called James, and his perspective was my favourite.
Interesting. Yes. With the editing, I think it was very well done. There's a lot of stories that tell the story out of order.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows, there's a lot of movies that do that, and they don't always do it so effectively. I think this one was quite effective. One thing I felt like is you go into this film and it does seem like it's going to be a mystery.
Mm.
And in most mystery films, you're supposed to try and figure out what's happening, who's done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never felt the inkling to do that during Weapons. I felt like I was just supposed to sit and have the story told to me. And I knew that I was going to gain more information every time. And I quite liked that.
Yeah, it's not one of those things like Knives Out where you're looking out for clues.
Mm-hmm.
You're more letting the story wash over you because you know that when you see the name cards come up, you're like, okay, so this is what I'm going to learn from one person, and what will I learn from the next? And you realize that you're going to have questions that comes from one part of this film that will be answered later, and it's very satisfying in that way because everything fits together like a puzzle.
Yeah, the excitement doesn't come from figuring it out. The excitement comes from the, like you said, puzzle pieces being given to you every different perspective.
Yeah.
And you're just excited because you suddenly gain new perspective on something and you're like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Very fun because of that. How did you feel about performances?
I liked the performances.
Mm-hmm.
I liked most of them. I think that... So you hear voiceover in the trailer for the film, and that voiceover is also in the movie. And I think that with the context that we have now, the writing in that part makes the voiceover a little bit clunky and it doesn't make as much sense.
Okay.
I think that the characters themselves, not the voice actors, but the actual characters within the story, I think they do quite well. I liked the performance of the teacher, and I liked the dad as well. His performance is very good in it.
Yeah, there were some good performances.
Were there any performances you didn't like?
Well, I wouldn't say there was a performance I didn't like, but I will say that the actress playing the teacher, I did feel was slightly miscast.
Oh, okay.
I've seen her in a good few things.
Yeah.
And I've never not liked her, but I just didn't like her in this role. And I couldn't tell if it was necessarily her fault or if it was just an issue of writing, but her character just felt incredibly flat.
Okay.
And I just think that for a character that's so turbulent in the sense that she's having such a hard situation in her life and she sort of pings between being this sort of boring, lonely person into having this streak of rebellion and this issue with obviously throwing herself into a man who she has this on and on off relationship that doesn't seem very healthy for either of them. And it's this just seems like an interesting character who's got these multiple sides to her, and it just fell flat watching it. I just don't think that it was her role.
Okay.
Personally.
That's fair enough. What did you think about the big bad in this movie? Let's call it.
Let's call it the big bad. If you don't know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
They've been all over TikTok.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of cunty cosplays and I'm enjoying it a lot.
She's a baddie.
I
I really enjoyed the performance of the big bad. Very much giving, character actress. very out there. A lot of people are comparing it to Longlegs.
Interesting. Okay.
And I understand the comparisons. I mean, people comparing the films in general, I do think there's a lot of similarities. I say cinematography is completely different. I'd say even like direction editing is very different. But the characters are very similar, and the stories and the writing is very similar.
Especially because, especially in the beginning, it's kind of like Silence of the Lambs tone in both of Longlegs and in Weapons.
Yes, and the way that the story unveils, and you sort of find out that the big bad is someone outside of the story, and it unveils this, without spoiling too much, this sort of like code or this like new fantasy or mystery. I do think that Weapons ends better than Longlegs.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Longlegs has one of the best openings of a horror film ever. And I think that the story is very good. But I do think that the last act
it fumbles.
Of Longlegs fumbles.
Yeah.
The last act of Weapons, I don't think it fumbles.
No, I think the last act of Weapons is a lot better than Longlegs in my opinion. And I actually think in part that it builds the groundwork for that very early on, especially because I've now watched this movie twice, and I will say that like the first time I watched it, the humor that comes up that I wasn't expecting it. It didn't land for me, but then the second time I watched it, because I knew it had a slight bit of levity and humor in it, I enjoyed it more, and the ending hit better for me. I did like the ending the first time, but it was better for me the second time I watched it.
Okay. Some people are a little slow.
Yeah, I am.
I'm joking. Dora's being mean for no reason. Any other thoughts to say? Do you have a rating? What did you give it on Letterboxd?
Let me check my Letterboxd.
I
can't remember what I rate films anymore.
I actually gave it a 4 out of 5. While you do that, I'll explain my thoughts. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it was incredibly enjoyable. I think it was fun, especially when you compare it to a lot of films nowadays. Not horror films, just films in general. I just like love these like new stories that are willing to establish things that aren't from other films. I feel like horror is like one of the few genres still doing that. Like everyone knows that we're in like, you know, the remake sequel apocalypse, right? But horror is like still a genre that's willing to establish an entirely new system, a new big bad, a new law that doesn't exist in any other film, and you just sort of have to make peace with the fact that this law exists that you don't know. And that boldness is just, I think that's a slap in the face to a lot of films that are being made nowadays.
Absolutely.
But yeah, give it 4 out of 5.
I also give it a 4 out of 5. I enjoy an original film. I enjoy an original tone. Like, if I have not seen the first film, or if I didn't like a first film of a franchise, then I'm not going to go and watch a sequel, right? And then this year has been especially good for horror movies that you can watch. Either they don't have movies that have come before it, or you can watch them without having seen the previous movies in said franchise. Sinners, 28 Years Later, Bring Her Back, which is very good as well. Weapons, it's been a really great year for horror in my opinion.
Oh, it's weirdly, right?
Yeah.
Shockingly, it's just, it crept up on us. I feel like the last few years, every year of my life, I hear about the horror films that are upcoming and I get excited, and then the year leaves me like, okay, on and off.
Yeah.
But this was one of the years I actually wasn't like...
Everything was hitting.
Yeah, but I wasn't even excited before this year started. Like, it wasn't like, oh, here's all the things that are coming next year, like I usually am. And I let my guard down, and then all of a sudden, all these films have just, like, absolutely come out and smacked. Gosh. Also, can I just say this again? It's so random to say, but, like, speaking about horror films that have been great in the last year, because I think it's still in the same calendar year. Substance.
I think Substance was last year, end of last year.
Not calendar year, as in...
Oh, okay, from 12 months from today. Okay,
yeah,
I think it was around this time last year that we saw The Substance.
I actually want to know the release date, because we were thinking about it, because we was reliving it, because we went to the cinema, same cinema to watch another film, but we'll get to that. I love Substance, and I just think that, like, that was like a beacon of hope, and just following it ever since has just been these great, amazing
horror's always been a rebellion, like, even if it is within the Hollywood system.
Yeah.
Horror filmmakers are the type of filmmakers who get to fight back against family friendliness and sequelitis, if you will, even if some horror franchises just won't die. Conjuring. Actually, no, it's dying this year. Thank fuck.
Yeah, I hate, this is so separate, but, like, I hate Conjuring.
Yeah.
I hate horror films like that. They're Oh God.
Lame.
But there was so many years where we were stuck with films like that.
Yeah, and it was just films like that.
Yeah, for so long, and then obviously like Elevate horror started to pop off.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
horror's always been a little bit of a rebellion against everything, and the more things like the shitter the regular film industry gets, the more horror is gonna start to come out and be like, hey, this is how you actually get it done.
Yes, and I will say, horror is always up and down.
Yeah,
There's always gonna be good horror. Like every year, there's at least a few good horrors, but there are definitely better years and worse years, and we're in a good year.
absolutely.
Enjoy it, people.
Enjoy it.
Who knows what's coming next year?
Go to the cinema.
Yes, please keep them open. But yes,
that is it.
go see Weapons.
Yeah,
it's very good. It should be on streaming, like we said.
Yeah,
very soon.
I'll probably get it on Blu-ray because I want it.
Yeah, but go watch it.
Go watch it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe. You can find us wherever you find your podcasts.
And we're on all the socials. Links should be below. At Literally Dead Horror Podcast. Woo. Okay, goodbye, guys.
Bye.